Afternoon campers and welcome back. This weekend a number of us had planned to go camping to the Lake District with the Grand Tours. I'll tell you more about them a bit later on. However, the weather forecast forced us to change our plans, so instead 7 of us decided that we would fly out for breakfast. And all was going according to plan until this happened. Eventually though, after a lot of faffing about, some very bad language and a change of spark plug, the black ball fired into life and I could finally get on my way. Dollymore traffic Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha entering 01 for immediate departure, Dollymore. Right, morning folks, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a late start this morning. A group of us have decided that we're going to go to Otherton for breakfast, which should be good because I've never been to Otherton before and I've heard the cafe is outstanding. However, Numpty here managed to flood his engine, so everybody else in true Top Gear style has buggered off and left me behind. Anyway, I've got my engine started and I'm on my way, but I'm running late. Otherton Airfield is located in the county of Staffordshire and it's situated right next to the M6 motorway about 3 miles northwest of Cannock. The airfield has 6 grass runways to cater for all possible wind directions, and during the weekend the Flying Pan Cafe serves a legendary cooked breakfast, and even better, there's no landing fee. I'll put a link to the airfield's website in the description. Let me just explain something. Grand Tours. What is a Grand Tours? If you are a sub-70 pilot or a newly qualified MPPL holder and you fly an SSDR aircraft and you fancy having to go at stretching your legs and doing a bit of touring and a bit of camping, but you're a little bit unsure about doing it on your own and you want a bit of help, a bit of mentorship, a bit of guidance, then this could be just the thing for you. Micro Aviation have developed something called the Grand Tours. So the Grand Tours is an opportunity for you to fly with the likes of Mark Hilton, Ben Ashman, Giles Fowler, who've got lots of touring experience. They recently did a trip from Darlingmore, 3 or 4 day trip, ended up in Scotland. And the Grand Tours is an opportunity to fly with them under their guidance, and they will basically show you what you need to know to go touring. So if that's something that you think you might be interested in, I'll put a link in the description below to the website or a phone number. If you give them a ring or send them an email and ask to be put on their Grand Tour mailing list, then they'll keep you updated with all the future plans. Coming up to Cannock Chase, which looks like a great big forest, so I think I need to gain a little bit of height to give me some options if the worst happens. The problem is with gaining a little bit of height is I gain a little bit of headwind and that slows me down. The slower I go, the more chance I've got of getting to the cafe and all the good stuff's gone. Well, that won't do. Okay, so if I have an engine out over Cannock Chase, my best bet would be to turn around and head for one of these fields here to my left. I could have woken up this morning, had a nice lie-in in my caravan, stayed toasty and warm. Mrs. B could have rustled us up a full English breakfast. However, we decided it'd be a good idea to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, go and fly 23 miles to go and get the bacon butty that we could have had in the caravan. Things you do. Oh, safely made it over Cannock Chase. Got Stafford to my right, Cannock to my left, and Otherton dead ahead.
When we contacted Otherton earlier on this morning, we were told to expect to land on runway 16. However, it became apparent from listening to their radio frequency en route that things had changed.
Golf Juliet Delta taxi into the hole for runway 25. Okay.
So it's 25. Alright, that's changed things then. 25.
This is where my flight planning software Skydemon came into its own. With an unexpected change of runway in use, I was able to pull up the airfield plate and obtain the joining instructions for the new runway.
Dead side descending.
The runway in use had changed from runway 16 to runway 25, which has a non-standard overhead join onto a left-hand circuit. This complicated looking joining procedure, along with the pressure of having a ground-to-air controller to speak with, is the reason I'd previously put off flying into Otherton. However, with the smell of bacon rising into the air and the joining procedure clearing my head, I pressed on.
Otherton Radio Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha flex wing inbound from the northeast, 5 minutes to run. Otherton Radio.
The law of a full English breakfast and no landing fees was bringing aircraft from all over the place, so I'll leave the radio traffic in this video so you know what to expect if you fly into Otherton at a weekend.
Otherton traffic, Charlie Foxtrot Juliet Golf inbound to the overhead from Albert Bromley, climbing to 1100 feet.
Otherton Radio Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha flex wing inbound from the northeast, 4 minutes to run. Otherton Radio.
Left aircraft very quiet. Don't know whether you got my left. Currently using 25 a left hand with an advisory QFE of 1014.
25 left hand Golf Papa Alpha.
Papa Alpha, got you now, thank you.
Otherton Airfield, this is Golf Juliet Alpha Oscar Charlie, looking for joining instructions about 5 miles to the northwest. Currently Juliet Alpha Oscar Charlie.
Golf Oscar Charlie, reading you 5, runway 25 left hand with an advisory QFE of 1014.
Yeah, runway 25 left hand rising QFE 1014, will shout when we're ahead of it.
Thank you.
Otherton traffic, Charlie Foxtrot Juliet Golf, descending on the dead side of 25, with a QFE of 1014.
Roger, got you both visual.
Otherton traffic, Charlie Foxtrot Golf downwind, left hand for 25.
Roger, thanks.
This is exciting. It's the first time I've landed at somebody where there's somebody else at the other end of the radio. I think that's Martin. I think that's Martin Haran.
Martin, who you'll see in just a minute, is another Midland-based pilot who flies both flex-wing and 3-axis Microlights. He's got his own airstrip at High Trees Farm, and when he saw us all fly over this morning, he fired up his Sky Ranger and decided to join us all for breakfast.
Otherton Radio Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha is on the dead side, descending for 25 left hand. Otherton Radio.
Roger, thanks, got you visual.
Otherton Radio Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha turning downwind for 25 to land. Otherton Radio.
Roger, thanks.
Let's go round this campsite.
Otherton traffic, Golf Juliet Alpha Oscar Charlie downwind, runway 25 for a full stop. I have one flex wing ahead, so I'll extend my downwind and then land.
Roger, thank you.
Otherton Radio Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha turning final for 25. Otherton Radio.
Roger, thank you.
Otherton traffic, Golf Juliet Alpha Oscar Charlie, turning base runway 25 for a full stop. One flex wing inside.
Roger, thank you.
Looking long.
Otherton traffic, finals for runway 25, left-hand circuit, Juliet Alpha Oscar Charlie.
So, as you can hear, Otherton was very, very busy this morning, and I was glad to be down. And I was ready for some breakfast.
Hello, young man.
Not late than that.
We beat you to it this time.
I thought I heard you.
Good. Gonna have to go and check in now. There he is. Cameras.
Weary traveller.
I've bloody
my engine. I couldn't get it started. I've got some of your tools in my your spark plug thing.
Yeah.
Remind me I've got them.
All right.
Yeah.
Mark's ordered you a breakfast.
Huh? First time being home.
So you've arrived, dude.
I do eventually. Better late than never.
What happened?
I think I flooded the
Because
engine.
when I was taxiing past you, you were looking a bit forlorn with a spark plug in your hand.
It's not a good sign, is it? No, I just flooded it. And then I couldn't dry the spark plug out properly, so I just put a new spark plug in it.
Right.
Left the spark plug out, full throttle, ran it over to get rid of the fuel that was in there.
Yeah.
New spark plug in, and then we went eventually.
Anyway, you finally got to Otherton.
I did.
And your breakfast's en route because Mark kindly ordered it.
Well, the legendary flying pan full English breakfast at Otherton certainly didn't disappoint, and it made the early start and wrestling with a flooded engine for 20 minutes all worth the effort. And as we left, the sight of 7 Flylight trikes lining up in formation to depart Otherton was something I'd never seen before, and it was a sight to behold. It certainly turned a few heads, and that even ended up on YouTube before we'd landed back at Darley Moor and we'd been named the SSDR squadron. I'll put a link to that short video up here. I'm also thinking of making full English breakfast flyouts a bit of a regular feature on the channel. I've had a number of suggestions of other airfields in the UK that serve a mean full English breakfast. So if you know of an airfield that serves a good breakfast that's worthy of a visit, then leave me a comment and I'll do my best to get round them all. I'm quite happy to sacrifice my waistline for what I see as an important bit of research. So if that sounds like something you'd like to see, then make sure you do this. Please.